hot flight attendant, so I was making
Mile
it
High
worthwhile.
Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Michael Herr Mile High Club.
Yeah. I have some
Could you even
stories.
fit
We'll
in one of
talk
those
about that after.
bathrooms?
Oh, it was, man, back in the early 90s, man. That being said, Johnny, it is, what is it? It's Monday. We're back in it. We're rocking and rolling. It's a crazy week. It's a crazy week for me, but I know it's a crazy week for you. So I'd like to start with what you guys have over there, and check
Sure.
your feed, because I think he sent us something over.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk to
So
us.
this week, obviously, every week we do some sort of package or therapy offering with a special. So this week is our Radiance package. The Radiance package is the first time we've ever offered anything like this. So you buy 2 of the therapies, you get the third one. Basically, at that point, you get 10% off the total order. And you can pick from GH, KCU, injectable biotin, or hair health capsules, the Titan Revitalizer hair foam, Aphrodite serum. This week, take 10% off. So if you buy 2, you get 10% off with the discount. Titan Radiant.
Love that. And so we do have the proper terminology. The copper is back.
Yes. Yeah. As far as the
Talk to us.
injectable, I know they have the oral. I know they have a copper injectable. So,
Right.
That's for people out there that do want the injectable.
All right. So, guys, the glowing skin, the radiant hair, everything that you guys, I get a lot of messages about that, about skincare and stuff. So this is working from the inside out. Again, very important.
Absolutely.
And again, this is one of those things, Johnny, you let us know. This should start prior to the damage. This would be
Absolutely.
a given, right? This would be something that you would want to start early, so you can keep that youthful skin
or hair. Absolutely. That's the big thing, like hair, skin, and nails. Like, especially for girls, they want their nails to grow. This is definitely going to help their nails grow in some of these aspects, some of these different therapies. You want nice skin, nice, beautiful skin, especially if you live down in Florida or you're out in one of those sunny areas, and there could be a lot of damage to the skin, just sun damage alone. You want to take care of that. So, that and genetics play a role. I mean, the way that you eat, that plays another role with your body and the way it's going to respond. But, even your hair, you want nice, glowing, like thick, hair. And that's the goal. And this will help do that too as well. So, you really can't lose, and you really want to be preventative about healthcare in general. Like we always talk about blood testing and all that, but even for the skin, for the hair, for the nails, it's really important to give your body what it needs. And as you age, these things start depleting out and you don't get as much. So that's why people, their skincare is top of the line, especially when you get older. You need it.
727-389-3220, Titan Medical. Again, you do not, and I love the video you put out last week. You do not have to go there in person. You can call from Idaho or Missouri or wherever you're at and get on the Titan Medical team. With that being said, the team is great, and we have some incredible people. I know that we have a couple of guys that are close to 60. They're actually going to get on stage at the highest level of fitness.
Yes.
And that is amazing to me, because of the people out there that ask questions. They say, is 25, is 35 too old?
Right.
Again, we have a guy that's closing in on 60 that is getting on stage. Can you talk to us about the process that Jimmy's making right now? And what aspects is he doing with Titan Medical, and how are you helping him make this journey?
Sure. So obviously, listen, Jimmy's competed at the highest level before. He's been there, but this is a lot further down the road, I guess. Right. Still big, still got a lot of muscle, everything like that. So just want to dial him in. I mean, he knows nutrition. He knows how his body's going to function there. He knows his train aspect. But then it's like really dialing in, and then the new tools that we have nowadays that he didn't have when he was competing before. One was blood work. I don't even think you guys check. I know those older guys didn't check their blood work every so often, maybe, if they got a doctor that was cool enough to start doing that. And there was a couple cool doctors back in the day that would do blood work, but very far and few between. So at that point, I'm like, Jimmy, like we need to look at the whole aspect of what's going on, make sure everything's dialed in. And then at that point, like start implementing some of these different things. And I'm like, so, when I start doing this for a competitor, and I don't do this for many, it's got to be a personal friend because I don't want to be throwing my hat in the ring like this. But at that point, I'm like, listen, I start like triaging them and saying, hey, listen, where are the challenges?
He said triage.
Right.
Wow.
So
okay,
I'm asking these questions. I'm going down this list, and I'm like, all right, well, and this would be something somebody would ask me, like, all right, if I could give you, if you had your magic wand, and you had some sort of problems, what were those problems? What are the problems right now? One was I can't get our meals down. Right, I'm eating, but I just like I'm like forcing myself, and it's hard. It's hard. So I'm like,
did he say then at that point, sorry, I have a fast metabolism. I just can't eat enough. Is that what Jimmy said to you?
No, Jimmy didn't have any excuses. He just said he couldn't get it down. He's like, it's just, he went through his periods where, before like a couple of years, like, he was not so dialed in. And at that point, like, it takes a little bit of time to come back and to get where you need to be.
Just so everybody understands this. So you're saying that Jimmy wasn't already in great shape? He divoted, he dropped below what Jimmy would do, and he wasn't eating right, and he was putting on weight, and he got fat, and he felt disgusted with himself. Are you saying that this is what happened to
I'm saying maybe not to that level,
because
yes.
This is what he said to me.
Yes,
and I'm like, wow, wait a minute.
In all fairness, yeah, I mean, basically said, I was just, listen, he's Greek, right? I know as Greeks are, we like to eat. So, if you don't got nothing holding you back, you ain't worrying about anything, I guess, you're just being free and you're eating a lot. So in turn, if you're not, hitting the gym or you're doing your exercising like you should, I guess, it's just going to throw that off for more calories and then more spare fat or calorie, efficiency, I guess, that you're not going to have. So anyway, I mean, at that point, I'm like, listen, so that's a challenge. All right, no problem. So we got MK. I'm like, listen, this is going to be a 2-for-1. One, we're going to raise IGF-1 levels, which is going to help recovery. It's going to get you stronger. You're going to be able to put on some more muscle. Two, we're going to be able to stir that hunger up. So at that point, now you're going to be able to get those meals in.
So now he can eat the meals. And on top of that, his IGF is back up and higher.
That's correct.
That's hope.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's part of the challenge, like making sure, like, you fill in those gaps of where the problems are at, and optimizing the levels. That's one thing. And then, when somebody tells me they can't eat, that's really easy for me. I'm like, oh, that's not a problem. If you need to eat and you can be disciplined enough, and I know he is, I'm like, this is going to be great for you. This is a great tool in the tool belt. So that was one.
Well, before you jump off of that, I know you're jumping over some stuff here because you're saying, he eats well, he does this, but at that moment he wasn't. And I know you said this is a good, listen, MK works. Okay. Right. But for most people out there, they don't know about this. And the hope you're giving them is bigger than, hey, can you stay on the diet? Can you do that? Listen, right. If you're out of shape, if you want to get in shape, I have something here. And this is hope.
Yep.
This is something that's going to help you with the IGF so you recover better, like your younger self.
Yep.
You'll eat more, which puts on the muscle again. How many guys out there, 40, 50, 60, go, I wish I looked like I used to.
Right.
Well, now you can with the MK. That's so big, Johnny. I know you live this and everything like this, but I think everybody here that's listening right now have no comprehension on the golden ticket. It's you just gave him a lottery ticket.
It's a good one. I mean, I forget that sometimes. Obviously, I'm living this 24/7. So, I think I'm repeating myself a million times, over, and I don't want to repeat myself to people, but
I want you to today, though. I do.
I will.
I know that these people don't comprehend I got 20 DMs. I come in this morning, Jeff goes, well, we got about 20 DMs all asking about, is 25 too late to start? Is 30 too late to start? I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's crazy. We're 25 and 30. I mean, you got all, dude. You could start at either one of those ages, and you're way ahead of the game in some aspects of more people.
And just jumping back, we're talking about a guy that was at the pinnacle of this Greek god. It really is, right? Jimmy Mentis, this cover model superstar, had every looks, the body, strong, charismatic, dropped. And he didn't compete for over 25 years.
I know.
25 years, everybody. And then you're asking me, hey, can I work out? Can I get back in shape? This guy hasn't done it in 25 years.
I know.
And he's coming back.
Oh,
this is huge.
It is. So when he told me he was going to do it, I was like, I'm in.
And again, it's because he's willing to do the work. Johnny can help you. So you got the MK. That's going to help these people. It's going to help them with their appetite. It's going to get them eating better, more muscle, memory muscles. Great.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. It's going to pop right back. And
then the recovery, so you can heal up better.
And Jimmy's a big dude, man. He's 275 pounds. I mean, he's a big dude. So he's not, it's like, oh, I got to gain like 20 or 30 pounds. He's there, like where he needs to be at. It's just at this point, we're just going to put on as much as possible and then start cutting,
So what are you doing right now for his joints and ligaments or anything else like that besides the MK, or is MK the main source for recovery?
Pretty much that's the main source. I mean, obviously he's on Hercules Potion. Hercules Potion's been a game changer for him. He loves it. So he's been going crazy with the Hercules Potion. And that's got 9 different amino acids in it: glutamine, arginine, ornithine, lysine, L-citrulline, proline, taurine, NAC, and L-carnitine. So great for recovery, great for the immune system, great for the blood flow, pump, vasodilation, working out, more strenuous activity. There's so much collagen, nervous system. I mean, there's so many different benefits you get just from Hercules. So he's been utilizing that. That's just a vitamin amino acid blend that we have. That's awesome. All natural. It's great. And then at that point, the next thing would be glutathione for him. We looked at the liver functions because we did a blood test on him, full in-depth blood test. His ALT, AST were a little high. So I'm like, listen, we need to put you on some glutathione, get that, make sure the liver is working optimally, processing things through there faster. So that's great. And then, and that's good for his immune system too, as far as, he's breaking down his immune system, working out real hard. He's traveling to expos or down around the country maybe. And at that point, you want to make sure your immune system is intact. So that one's good. The other one that we just added in there, and I guess this could go with recovery, lean muscle building, fat loss and anti-aging too as well. We just started with the IGF-1 LR3. So IGF-1 LR3, we started utilizing that. And it's been probably about a week or two, and he's loving that too as well. I mean, right off the bat, you take IGF-1 LR3, you're going to get instant kick in of the effect per se, right? So it's not something where you're sitting around waiting. When does this IGF-1 kick in?
Before you keep going, I got to stop. So health reasons, because he's 60, we want to make sure his liver and kidneys and everything. And so the glutathione, so that's helping his health. And I think what's great is when you into the outside world, you talk about health and fitness, they instantly think, oh, it's terrible. It's going to make you sick. You're going to die young. Because no, it's the point of Titan Medical is longevity.
Absolutely.
And glutathione is one of those incredible antioxidants that's going to help the body and clean up. You guys talk about doing a fast or what do they talk about? Hey, make sure to have your lemon water and
juice detox.
Yeah, you're going to get your detox and your glutathione. There you go.
Glutathione for sure. And you're not going to be stuck to the toilet either when you take glutathione. That's one of the best things about it. I mean, there's so many different benefits, oxidative stress and like all these different things, like just wipe away with glutathione. So, I mean, it's some other antioxidants. It's a very important one. It's a staple in my regimen. It should be a staple in everybody's regimen out there, especially if you're lifting or you have anything else that could be affecting the kidneys or liver.
What did you tell me last week? If you don't remember, I'll let them know.
Which part? I don't know.
Yeah. So I was sick last week, and John texts back and goes, glutathione twice the next couple of days.
Yes.
Boom. And
Yes.
so from being ran down and sick, boom, 2 days up, going again. And so thank you for saying that to me.
Of course, dude. Of course.
And again, for you guys out there, take care of the body from the inside out. Inside out. That's where Titan Medical comes into play.
And that's so true. So if you are right on the inside, the outside is definitely going to be affected. 1,000,000%.
And that kind of goes back to the very first thing we talked about, is that you're special this week. Again, skin, hair. Just
Nails. Yep.
Just circle back to that for you guys that came in late here. It's, again, start young, taking care of yourself, and that way you don't have as much damage, and you continue to be able to do this as long as I have.
Yeah.
So, all right, continue back to Jimmy. He's got a couple months. So is right now something I know that you guys have available, AOD and tesamorelin, to help body fat. If he's not doing that, is that something you recommend for people out there that want to cut body fat?
Of course, tesamorelin's a great one. AOD is a great one. I mean, you can utilize both of these. The other thing that I've got him on is I've got him on the ECAs. Of course, he has a very high tolerance to caffeine. So I've got him on the high dose, but at that point he's utilizing those really well. But at that point, for us, I would say see where he's at, maybe another month or so, and then start instituting maybe something else. If he really needs to cut, and he's having problems cutting, then we can implement some of these different other things that we have to make sure that he gets to where he needs to go. And that could be a variety of different things. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I mean, it could be AOD. It could be tesamorelin. I mean, depending on what he needs to do and how fast he needs to do it, to be honest with you, I mean, you could even microdose a GLP-1 if you really, really wanted to. If it's something like that, I wouldn't recommend it, but depending on where he's at and what we need to do, it's a good cutting agent. It really is. I've seen now like bodybuilders that come through here that have been utilizing it with a microdose technique. So they're not giving themselves a full dose. They're not titrating up, and they're only utilizing it because they need to cut and they're too damn hungry to do it. Now, on the flip side of that, we've got some other things that will take away the hunger. I told them that, but they wanted to run these things just to see how it was. And honestly, I was up for it because I wanted to see exactly how it was going to work out for them, right? Were they going to come back and say, nah, man, you know what? It was taking away too much muscle, and I was not happy with it, right? But these guys came back and told me, like, hey, listen, this actually worked pretty well. So I wouldn't recommend that for the everyday person, right? But somebody who's a competitor and stuff like that, that might be a route to go later on. Tesofenzine's is another one that's an oral. Now with this one, at that point, I think that they can utilize this if they need an appetite suppression, a little bit, and I think it'll help them. The newer one I'm taking right now, Sloop. Sloop
is
332. Yes. Well,
not tesamorelin. This new one that you just said.
So Macamorelin came out. Sloop 332. I'm on the Sloop 332 right now.
Okay.
The Macamorelin I'll take this week. I'll tell you exactly. Because I know it's going to work as far as because in 2017 it was FDA approved. So that means they had the clinical studies and it was behind it. So I started looking at the clinical studies from back then. The pharmaceutical company that had it, I don't know if they just couldn't sell the product or what. So it became unavailable because they didn't have enough money. So they were looking for a strategic partner to partner up with them, pharmaceutical company, to bring this back out to market. So I know it works. My only thing is it going to stimulate hunger? That's the only thing that I need to find out. Because if it doesn't stimulate hunger, then this could be an effect for somebody that does not have a control on what they're going to be eating, right? Like if they take MK and it's just a regular person that's 350 pounds and they eat all day, when they take that thing, they're going to eat double, and it's going to be even worse for them. So, if this can work and stimulate and not stimulate the ghrelin, the hunger hormone, as much, like CJC and all those, then I think it's a winner. And I think there's an option for the two different types of people out there. The one that can't get enough calories in, wants to get more calories in, can't do it. MK is going to do that, plus give them other benefits. Or you got the other person that They've got a low IGF. They're 350 pounds. They're never going to control what they eat, but this is going to help their IGF-1 raise. So at that point, it'll be really, really good because they're both oral options. They both come in capsules. So, somebody that does not like needles or anything like that, that wants to get this bump in their IGF-1 and anti-aging and all these other good things that come along with it, then they'll have that option laid on the table for them. So I'm really, really happy with that, to be honest with you. I mean, I was looking for another option because MK is great, but to the uncontrolled person that cannot control themselves, then
it's a tough one to sit back and
it's like gun safety, right? Somebody that's good with a gun, has gun safety, can control a gun. Somebody might shoot themselves in the foot. And we don't want them to shoot themselves in the foot. We want to make sure they can shoot straight.
We got a lot of questions here, but I want you to finish up with Jimmy before we get into any kind of questions.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with Jimmy right now. Jimmy's we're right where we want to be at right now, I think. Every week's a check-in type period. We can just talk to him, like, hey, listen, what's going on? He'll be down here next week. We'll check in, see what's up. If there's any changes as far as that goes, or where we need to go after that, like, we'll just start planning. I'd like to start planning a couple weeks ahead, obviously, and to the game time of where he's going to be at. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I know it's going to be something special. So at that point, like, I'm ready for that.
I know him, so it's going to be fun for me to see my guy, this Greek statue, be back in that kind of shape at that age. I think to me, I've traveled through life, so I know to be at that level at that stage is just an amazing thing. So I'm props to him. Jimmy Mentis, you guys can follow him over on social media. I got a couple questions here, though. Let's jump into a lot of training questions. There we go. First one.
I'm gaining a little muscle, but not losing enough fat. What is your suggestion? My weight remains the same. Lift more. Look at the diet. That's one thing. If you're old enough, and I don't know how old you are, I see your profile picture. Look at a good gentleman there, strapping gentleman. But at that point, you might want to check your blood work. You might have some different things that are off that could be holding you back in what you're doing. If you're getting a little muscle and you're putting in a lot of work and you're eating good and you're sleeping and all that, then there might be something that we can uncover through a blood test that might be able to help you out. Even so, one way or the other, I think we can help you, one gain lean muscle, and then two, lose fat. So, if you want, you can call or text us and be able to go over everything with you and maybe set you over the program or get you set for the blood test one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree with Johnny's. And I think there's options that you can do there. You're gaining muscle, which is great that that you're gaining muscle. So you're gaining strength and muscle, not cutting enough fat. Yeah. I don't know if you're trying to do too many things at once, but that's where the EAAs and the Hercules Potion and all that over at Titan Medical is going to help you be in a surplus, gain the muscle, but also lose the fat. So if that's what you guys want to do, you want to do the double fold and not be in a deficit. That's a great way to do it. And I recommend that more. Try to be in a surplus of calories and lose fat. That's what Titan Medical do. That's not much else outside of that. That's a tough one to do. And so you got to get help from them. All right.
Says, good afternoon, sir. Question. Open powerlifting list. You as having competed in single ply, but you never talk about equipped lifting. Is their listing inaccurate, or did you actually try it out?
Not only did I try it, I'm the 4-time Washington State champion. I'm a 4-time California champion, and I took second at nationals a couple times against Bull Stewart, the legend Bull Stewart, that nobody could beat, not even my weight class, but anybody. Wow. That being said, I that was my powerlifting years. I do not recommend equipment. Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that I don't talk about. I talked about that. Yeah, I talk about this all the time. I don't believe in equipment. I think that if I could go back, not because I did it, because I understand that I did it, and it didn't give me the benefits going without it would have done. Would I have won the meets and all that stuff without the equipment? No. Would I have been better or farther advanced in health and fitness and in powerlifting? Yes. Well, how can you lose or not win and still be more advanced? Because it's a crutch. And being young in your teens and 20s and lifting with equipment is a crutch. Yes, you can bench 400. Great. But can you do it without the shirt, without the belts, without the wrist straps and all those things? And that's what you should be going for. And again, Titan Medical is about longevity. And my belief and the reason why we're teamed up is because this whole thing isn't about the champion. It is about the long-term effect of what weightlifting can do to you and how it could set you up to win in life. We were talking about Jimmy Mentis, and I'm sorry about rambling, but Jimmy's allowed to be able to do this again at 60 because he's intelligent when it comes to weightlifting. He's not broken. Now, if you're broken, that again, you got to call Titan Medical so they can help you with the BPC and the TB500 and those things to help you get back into it. But I talk about this a lot. I don't believe in equipment, and I stand by that decision. I would rather have given up the championships and winning all those things if I could have done it without it. And I will make sure that my son does not use equipment.
Makes sense. Real world scenarios, man. You're in a real world scenario. You don't got no equipment to help you out.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, I benched 350. It was funny when I did start going raw, I would hear people go, "Yeah, I benched 500 last week," and this was a raw meet, and then we start benching, and I'm like, "Oh, this guy's gonna dust me." You know, I'm 5 right now, but you know. And then we get into the lift, and he's doing like 315. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, well, no, I had a triple ply shirt on and this and that. I'm like, that's great. That's wow.
I've never used any of those things. I've never used good. I mean, good. You know, I think a couple of years ago I had wrist straps. I used one time, a little bit, but I stopped using those too because I didn't want my wrists to get weak. I heard they would get weak if you use those straps all the time. I'm like, man, I ain't having this shit happen. There's no way. So I don't know. I think it's what you can do without equipment for sure. 1,000,000%.
Thank you, Mark Bell, for creating Raw.
Yeah.
All right. Give me another one, Jeffrey. Is this? Well, you can. Yeah, I got a workout plan for that you can do at home with dumbbells. That's the best one.
Yeah. Push-ups, sit-ups.
Full workout
in person, right? You got some dumbbells. You can do a lot of things too.
Get the full workout in there, but I would recommend, because it's not the most optimal, I would still say get your blood work done, find out what's going on inside the body. That way you can get some, make sure that everything's functioning correctly. And also Johnny has some incredible things that will optimize your body so you can you're not the ultimate workout. It's the best you can do. Great.
Right.
But because you got Johnny helping you out and Titan Medical helping you out, you're matching the person at the gym.
Yep.
So it's a win.
Optimizing that workout.
Go for it, Jeffrey. Sorry about that.
There was one up there about Ozempic too. I'm 38, feel like I'm losing mass even though I keep lifting. Any tips? I mean, one, your nutrition.
Like I'm losing mass.
2, I would look at blood work then for sure. Like you're losing mass, like there's something going on possibly. I would definitely look at blood work. Nutrition, I mean, if you're still lifting the same and you're losing mass, there's got to be some issue there.
Yeah, this is blood work.
Blood work for sure. 38 years old.
You didn't say anything about nutrition, so I'm guessing your nutrition is perfect. So, you're golden, man. Just get your blood work done. Find out what's going on there because your nutrition's perfect. You're lifting, so you're doing everything right, but your body's not working with you. That's where Titan Medical comes into play.
Absolutely.
Mostly at 38, kid.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You're at the best, Mr. O'Hearn. Do you have any advice for stretch marks?
Well, the best advice I can give you is don't ever get them. That's the first thing.
It's tough.
And then Creams, Titan Medical has some creams there, but you got to keep the body lotioned the best you possibly can. We'll minimize the best you can.
Yeah.
And then the copper that Johnny talks about, right?
That's a good one for sure. We're working on right now. We're working on a stretch mark, like a prescribed cream. It looks promising because obviously, like a lot of girls get stretch marks, and there's nothing they can do with it with pregnancies. So that's one thing we are looking at.
See, we got lucky. I knew enough, and then also we knew that it was about lotion.
Yeah.
And so Mona made it in and out without any issues. But here's the thing that I don't understand people do. I wear sunblock, and I make sure I have lotion, face and body. And then you get mostly guys, because girls I think are okay with it, but mostly guys will go, it's not, no. First off, it's not manly. All right, I don't know what manly means. You rugged, you got beef jerky skin. Nice, that's manly.
Yeah.
But the understanding that lotion itself, the most basic lotion, is keeping some moisture in.
Right.
So that's not debatable, and it's interesting that they want to debate that. Now imagine if you got this lotion from Titan Medical that's this good, not just all of whatever, but this level. How much more that's going to help you? So head on over, get that lotion for anybody and everybody. And again, if you're not doing it in your 20s and 30s, and I don't know what you're waiting for. You're waiting until you get bad skin to try to fix it.
Yeah. I think that's another thing I would have instituted back then, younger. Probably instituted more of a skincare.
When did you get to Florida? How old were you?
21. So I've been here 22 years, 23 years.
See, genetically, you got good skin, because I don't think you're a sunblock guy.
I'm not a sunblock guy.
Yeah,
but that doesn't say I won't wear it, right? Like when we go in July, you'll see me. I'll put on some sunblock. The first couple of days, like if I don't have any sun and I haven't had sun in a while, like I would try to absorb as much as possible. Because I mean, the way that my skin goes, I got Greek skin, and just it is what it is. Like I might look a little red on one day, and the next day it's brown. So I'm good. But then when I get to a certain point, I'm like, all right, well, like if I'm in the day, I don't want to get too red. I don't want to be absorbing too much. I don't want to get like sun poison or anything else. I will put on like a spray on like a 50 or something like that. Just spray it on my face. Obviously, I want to make sure. But I try to get as much as possible. But I will throw it on, and you'll see me firsthand do it. Okay.
You'll wear sunblock, and I'll wear zinc. I'll be pure white. I got that Viking skin. So listen, like when we film at Gold's Gym, if we go outside, Jeff's got like a clock down. It's like a 4-minute clock. I got 4 minutes outside, or I get back in. My skin's bad, but Jeff's is even like a level above that.
Well, I don't, you know what the problem is? If guys were in shape, I think maybe they'd be more inept to wear it. Yeah. The reason I say this is when you go to a pool or beach, the guy that takes his shirt off and is ripped, you throw that on him, and now it's going to look even better, right? That's what you do for a photo shoot. Anybody that has never done a photo shoot out there, I'm sure Mike will tell you on covers, I'm sure they had like posing oil or some sort of oil where they sprayed on you to make you look like that glistening look.
Oh, I don't. It's not even at the pool. I do that just walking in my bedroom and turn Mona on. Freaking oil up before that, dog. I ain't waiting for the pool.
But the problem is a lot of guys are out of shape, and they're not taking their shirts off. They don't want to do something like that because it won't look aesthetically pleasing to them. So, you know.
I hear you. That's Kelly. That's our boy Kelly. He ain't putting no sunblock on. Give me Ozempic if you saw that one.
Where is it at? It's up there. Let me see. Keep going. Wow, this is way up there. Keep going. There it is. Hey guys, how are things like Ozempic so accepted, but gear or even just HRT are still taboo? Do you think if more celebrities and influencers, The Rock, etc., came out and admitted it, it would help? So I think, honestly, I'll be totally honest with you. I think testosterone replacement therapy or HRT is not a taboo anymore. I really don't. I think that, there's, there was a lot of misconception about it, stereotypes. But since that black label has came off, and it has not been long, what we're talking about 3 weeks, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Like that held a lot of like practitioners back from you wanted to prescribe it, right? Now they got to wrap their head around it. Like, hey, listen, this could actually give our patients more benefits. They've been running studies on patients that have low testosterone, and the way that they age is a hell of a lot worse than some guy that has regular testosterone or optimized testosterone.
What's the black label, John?
With the black label? So the black label on testosterone was like the black label that was on cigarettes. It is on cigarettes. So basically, it's a like if you take this, the chances of you having like a major cardiac event is at high risk. So basically, heart attacks, strokes, you're going to have one if you take this. That's what the black label meant. Black label is like the black label of death, right? So with the FDA taking that off, it's huge, and it hasn't been talked about too much. I've seen Collins talking about it, the lawyer, a little bit, and a couple other practitioners, but it's a big deal, like a big deal. So, I don't think it's a taboo anymore. Ozempic, I think that testosterone, the only reason you're going to have any like kickback from it is that it's a controlled substance, right? It's a controlled 3. Where you look at any other hormone and it's not controlled at all. Estrogen's not controlled. Progesterone's not controlled. DHEA is not controlled. Melatonin is not controlled. I mean, we're talking about hormones. So it's just testosterone got a bad name. And at that point, people weren't for it. I mean, this is the reason I opened Titan 13 years ago, because everybody was against it. But I seen and knew that this was going to be super beneficial, and nobody knew about it. I had people come and ask me, like, how the hell did you get in this business? Like older people, like how did you do this? And when did you start this? And I got the question this last week, and I was like 31 years old when I put Titan together. 31. Like, I knew this at 31 before doctors like breakthrough shit. It was just crazy. And I seen it clear as day that it was going to be super successful because nobody was doing it. Nobody. You had very far and few betweens. We had these little clinics here or there, and they were just, you go in, you pick out the list. There's a guy in there, taps the doctor on the side, doctor writes the scripts, sends you on your way. There's still places like that. But there was nothing like we were going to do. And at that point, I think that a lot of celebrities are coming out and they're for this, right? And it just doesn't mean guys. There was a lot. Even Susan Sarandon came up. She's been pushing HRT for I don't know how long. So I think that more people will come out and say it. Alan Richter, he came out and talks about how HRT has been a game changer for him, and there's no way that he'd even be able to play the part that he's playing. It's just it's crazy when you start thinking of it. But more and more on it, and at that point, they're gonna start coming out with it. It's like it's not like it's not a secret. Those guys that need to get jacked for those parts, I don't care what you say. At 50 years old, and they've never been in your shape, Mike, and they're going to transform into what they are. It takes a little bit of PED action, right? The training's got to be there, calories got to be there, eating's on point, but they're obviously utilizing some different things. And I have knowledge of this. I told you guys before, like, if there's actors or, if you have some high military personnel, like, or something of that stature, there's a code you can put into pharmacies, and those pharmacies will give them a higher dose per week. Right. So it's not unheard of. I think that obviously all these people will start coming out and they think it's a taboo. Like maybe some of these Hollywood guys think that if I say this, then everybody's going to just put it on, I'm taking steroids. And it's something else they can go at and pick at me about or something like that. So yeah, I understand that if they want to keep it to themselves, that's their God-given right for sure. But I think a lot more people, even ex-athletes now, ex-professional athletes are coming out and talking about how now they're on HRT. And even before when they were playing the game, they were taking PEDs, but they weren't talking about it. So I think there's a big use of this, and I just think that more and more people are talking about it, and it'll be just like in the recent couple of years. There's more bodybuilders than ever that have been coming out and talk about their cycles because they're getting a lot larger views because of it. Because people are interested in hearing about what the hell this guy's taking. Before, let's call it 80s, 90s, you ask some guy, hey, listen, what are you taking? I ain't taking nothing. I'm eating green beans and I'm eating fish and that's it. I'm sleeping and training hard. So, I think that a lot more people are out in the forefront about it. You have like Shannon Sharp. I think he just got signed by Hims and he's doing promotional ads for this stuff. So it'll just become more of an everyday thing. I think it already has, to be honest with you. And Ozempic and those GLP-1s are not going away. And there's more and more people that are going to utilize them and use them. It just is what it is. And there's going to be more big bad boys coming down the ladder here soon.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's just, people will be talking about it. And it seems as though if you're in the fitness world, they even try to say that TRT is a natural approach to it. And it's like, well, listen, get your blood work done. I don't think you need elite. If you're listening to celebrities, you got an issue already. That's the first fault, and then on top of it, it's find out what works for you and what you need. Like Johnny says, it's like get your blood work done.
Yeah.
I wish I had the genetics of The Rock, but keep pushing, keep doing your thing. I don't think you need people to do to talk about it. I think you need to find out and understand it. For anybody out there, anybody here, read up on it. And that way you understand what you need to do and what you don't need to do.
I mean, I think The Rock needs to come out and talk about it. I'll be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you. So he used to be here in Tampa. Big Roddy and them used to train with him all the time. Like, we know he's had 2 gyno surgeries, so we obviously know you've used PEDs. I think that maybe talking about it would.
You got the Hobbit going. The Rock, who's in his mid-50s, I think, is on more stuff than ever. So then you got these guys that are so idiotic and dumb, like the Hobbit, saying that it's like, wait a minute, hold on. A guy that's been genetically monster his whole life,
of course,
is doing now as much as a pro bodybuilder.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that.
So it's going to be like you said. Well, if The Rock comes out and says it, okay. And then Jeff made the point the other day. He goes, "Oh, but is that all you're doing now?" It's like, well, I'll guarantee if The Rock is doing anything, it's TRT. It's a small dose. Well, how can you be that big? He's a big person, you idiot.
He is. He's always been big. That's what I'm saying. Genetics.
The guy with the worst genetics in history, the Hobbit, who had to blast, is like mad at The Rock because he doesn't have to take hardly anything and looks like a Greek god. It's like, that's where it comes down to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, you're damned if you do and damned if you're not.
Yeah.
Right? It's you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Yeah. Right. Like one way or the other. I mean,
that's the thing. I think the one thing that you and I want people to understand is get your blood work done, find out, and do the bare minimum. Yes. And that way you can do it for 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And you'll be healthy. Now, will it give you these kind of people that walk around like Greek gods physique? Don't know. I don't know your genetics, and I'm not going to argue the point. Maybe it will for somebody. And then, like for the Hobbit, he has to take a whole bunch of stuff to even look below average.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping everybody else out here at least gets the blood work done, gets healthy is the most important thing.
Right.
Gets healthy, and don't abuse it. Don't abuse either of these things. Don't abuse the TRT and don't abuse the Ozempic.
No, definitely not. I mean, listen, man, I've came across, I don't care how much you take. Like you can take the whole table's worth that I'm sitting at, right? And if you're not doing the right things and you don't have the right, you're never going to look like that. I don't care what you take. So I wouldn't be basing it on anybody else. It'd be based on what my goals are, what I'm trying to achieve, and be realistic about things. I literally had some guy, he was 170 pounds. He came in the office and he's like, I'm like, all right, so like, what's your goals or whatever? And he told me, he's like, I'm going to be 270 pounds. And I'm going to get to the Olympia stage. And I literally had to tell the dude, Mike, I'm like, listen,
it's not the place for you.
I'm all about support for you, bro, and like we'll help you out to a certain extent. But there's no way that you're gonna gain this amount of weight. I mean, you're gonna have to do some pushing, man, and it ain't gonna take a year. There's no way that. And I'm just trying to be realistic with them because you don't want somebody to hurt themselves either, trying to hit an unrealistic goal, right? If you said, I'm going to put on 10 pounds of muscle in the next 2 years, cool. Like, I think you could do that for sure. Let me help you out with that. But if you're talking about, 120 pounds extra, there's no way. There's no way. And you can take everything. You can take Test, Tren, Winstrol, Oxandrolone, Nandrolone, I mean, everything. You just throw it everything out, and there's no way it's going to happen. So,
yeah,
I just think it's crazy.
All right, what do we got here? Hull?
All right.
Hull Jam.
How do I make sure not to get any ligament or joint injuries from repetitive motions in sports? I'm an aspiring pro tennis player and practice tennis every single day.
Great
so
question.
BPC 157, TB 500 is definitely it. Recovery too, man. Red light sauna. I mean, there's multitudes of different things I would do for joint and ligament health, and just for overall body health, and especially if you're in repetitive motions in one sport. And time off might be a little bit. I know you practice every single day, but the body needs a little bit of time, right? Like every single day. And if you're lifting too as well, you're putting a lot of stress on the body. You're not giving it enough time to go back to where it needs to, right? You're just putting stress and stress and stress and stress.
But great point, though. So you got a pro athlete here. His livelihood is him playing. Go right over, follow James Harrison and what he did during his career. You hear about something like this, and you go, "What? Wait a minute! He spent $1 million on recovery."
Oh yeah.
It's like, whoa, geez, that's just stupid. Why? He made $10 million a year. Why wouldn't you give up 10% to make $30 million over the next 3 years?
Absolutely.
So it's what you're willing to do, and do it before it happens. That's the only way you're going to continue to play. So call Titan Medical, make sure that you take care of those ligaments and joints right now with the BPC and the TB 500. And then everything else, all the other kind of recoveries from, I don't care what it is, red light therapy to taking enough rest and food is correct. And make sure your T level is at the right range.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to.
Yeah, that's it.
Make sure everything's dialed in. What's your best advice on lowering LDL? So that's your bad cholesterol.
Great.
So best advice, change your nutrition plan. Get rid of fast foods, fried foods. Try to improve HDL, your good cholesterol. I mean, at that point, that's one thing I would start working on. So at least if your LDL is on the higher end, if your ratio is set there, it kind of offsets it a little bit. But I mean, I would work about, what's in my diet right now and start eliminating things, right? And then start adding back things that you think are going to be healthier. You get on a diet plan for maybe Mike or something like that. This would be an add-in. So, because whatever's going on right now is not working, right? If your LDL is too high and you haven't made any changes diet-wise, you better make some changes.
He looks from the photo. I don't know if this
looks all right. Yeah, it looks.
Yeah, he looks good. So I'm gonna go that you're eating pretty well and you're doing well, and it's still up there. And if that is the case, then I would do a phone call to Titan Medical and say, "Hey, I'm eating right, I'm training right, I'm sleeping right. All these things are on point. It's just my genetic makeup or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
it is in a bad range. How can I help that?" And then let them come up with a game plan to help you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So for everybody out there that you do right, you do everything by the books, and it's still up there, that's when you just got to make the phone call, guys. Give the call to Titan Medical and talk to John and his team.
Yeah. One guy said on the side, so I had to step away from fried calamari to lower my LDL. It's true. Fried foods are the worst. Took your advice, got blood work done. That checkup saved my life. Diagnosed with MS, had to do a total 180 and take advantage of what I got left. Blood testing's so crazy, guys.
Congratulations, first of all, just making this. Most people don't even do the call. And so good. You get control of the MS the best you possibly can.
Yeah.
Wow, total 180.
Yeah.
Good. A whole new life for you.
MS, for those people out there, maybe you have a family member, friend, or you have MS, NAD is a game changer. I've got one guy who's been on NAD. He's had MS, and it's improved dramatically.
So is
every
that
day.
Just so I understand, right? MS is also I could be completely wrong, but a stress level causes it to react as well.
It could get worse.
Right.
It get worse for sure. Shaking. I mean, there's a lot of debilitating things with MS. So
That's
great. At that point, it's been a really good one for him, and a lot of patients that have MS, they go with NAD, and it's definitely helped.
Yeah. So call your friends or family that have something like that, and make sure that they're doing all they can to take care of that health as well. Somebody wrote something here, and I want to. Where is that? Where they're saying that there is no such thing as the Steve. I disagree. I disagree.
Yes,
I got to be honest with you guys. I think the concept is Titan Medical. You are the guy that's in the chamber that's going to go into the tube, and you're going to come out a different person.
That's right.
You can get over on my nutrition plan and training plan. That's great. We can get you set up there. But then when you're over with Titan Medical, you get the Hercules potion, you get the EAAs, you make sure your T level is at the right range.
Right.
You got the NAD, you got the glutathione. You coming out as a super soldier in the very, very best you possibly can. So I disagree that there's not. It is.
I'm gonna just keep. I'm gonna be cutting edge. So I'm gonna keep looking. Even better stuff that's coming down the pipeline. I promise you. But yeah, there's some pretty things that are pretty close to it.
And you're looking at a guy right now. This guy, Johnny, right here, is in his 40s. Yeah. I won't say mid 40s. He's still in his early 40s.
44.
And he's in phenomenal shape. And this man works.
Thank God.
Oh, geez.
A lot.
80 hours a week. Easy.
I work a lot.
I think that's even a low number. And still gets to the gym, still looks like this, still has the energy. So it's all aspects of Steve Rogers right there.
Absolutely.
Captain America.
That's one of my favorite characters, Captain America. There's reasons for that.
That's it, man. Johnny, thanks for hanging out today, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Fast, man.
Thank you.
That went way too fast. Good stuff, guys. We'll be here next week.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks, Mike. I'll talk to you later, man.
Bye, buddy.
Bye-bye.
To answer your question, does this say Tron or Tren? Well, if you can't read, you can't read. Boys and girls, that is it for today. Get on over there. The number is right here, 727-389-3220, Titan Medical. And again, they can help you become that Steve Rogers, that Captain America, if that's what you're looking for. Or if you're just trying to be healthy for your family and friends, or you're like Jeff and going off to the Philippines, and you want to be able to serve it up right, make it happen. Make a phone call today. We'll talk to you soon.